Welcome to the Best Damn Podcast. This is your host, Jill Lagan, CEO of the Boulder City Chamber of Commerce. In each episode, we will highlight what makes Boulder City, home of the Hoover Dam, the ideal place to operate your small business, explore world-class tourism attractions, and discover why we are the perfect place to live and unwind. Listeners, I have the distinct privilege of being able to interview the beautiful Jacky Rosen. Senator, we are so grateful to have you here, and thank you so much for being on the Best Damn Podcast.
Well, you know what? I love being on the Best Damn Podcast. I have the best damn picture in the United States Senate, 2 of them in my office, and thank you for having me.
Thank you for remembering some of the great things that make the state of Nevada awesome, and the dam is one of them. You know, I shared with you that my parents were always upset that I would constantly swear as a child growing up, but then I would always say, Hoover Dam, Mom, Hoover Dam. So that always got us out of that. So we are grateful to have you here. I know your time is short, so we're going to just jump right into it. What is a defining moment in your life when you felt called to serve our country?
I want to say it's not just one moment. I think that I feel like my faith-based community that I'm very connected to and very strong in Henderson, we really believe in this concept of what they call repairing the world, that you leave the world a better place than how you found. It's your responsibility to take care of your corner of the world. So whatever that is, whether it's helping your neighbor if they're hungry, or sometimes you're a senator, you have a bigger bully pulpit, whatever that is, it's your responsibility. Someone did it for you. And so for the next generation, you need to leave the world or your corner of the world at least as good as how you found it, if not better. And I think that's just been a defining characteristic of family values my family instilled in me, and ones I've carried through as I was a volunteer in my adult life, and then, of course, had the opportunity to run for office, and I still carry that through.
We sure appreciate you and so glad that you were willing to serve. So thank you for doing so, and I'm grateful for your family that instilled those values in you. So when you travel across our state, what gives you the greatest hope for America's future?
I can tell you the people do not realize how big our state is. I tease some of my colleagues. I think we're about 70 million acres, and that's about 70 Rhode Islands or 70 Delawares, give or take some. And so our state is so diverse. It's not just a Lake Tahoe and a Lake Mead or Las Vegas. It is the dark skies. It is the small towns. It is the frontier spirit. The Pony Express went through Carson City. Mark Twain's brother was our lieutenant governor, and he wrote the book Roughing It up there. And then we think about our frontier history, our energy future, our tourism, whether it's out at Lake Mead, where we're looking at and overlooking here today. We have an incredibly beautiful state. And what gives me hope for the future is honestly Nevadans. Everywhere I go, people welcome me. They sit down. They tell me what they hope for, and they tell me what they worry about. They tell me what they really talk to me like a person. And I feel like that gives me the power to do my job for Nevada, and I'm really grateful to the people of Nevada for that.
The spirit of Nevada.
The spirit of Nevada.
Absolutely agree. So Boulder City is such a beacon of light when it comes to clean, renewable energy. We were started because of hydro, and we are stronger because of solar. What do you see in Nevada's future with the increase in energy demand and technology and innovation outpacing infrastructure? Where do we go from here?
You know what? This is a fantastic question. I talk about this all the time, and I think we have to be energy agnostic. In Iowa, they farm the corn. In Nevada, we farm the sun, or we had Hoover Dam. And so what I say is that we have wind, water, solar, and geothermal, right? We have all of that type of energy, and we have critical minerals. And so in Nevada, we are at the forefront of the 21st century energy economy. And we were with Hoover Dam, we were at that just about 100 years ago. At Hoover Dam, people don't realize it's still pumping out that energy for us, hydroelectric power. And with geothermal, with solar, we can do so many things, not just the jobs it creates, but the sustainable energy future, and how do we power our lives that are just so very important. And what kind of world do we want to leave for our kids? We know it's getting hotter or drier, and we want to be sure that, again, how do we take care of the world we're going to pass on to those kids and grandkids? And Nevada plays prominently in all of that, and we're trying to invest in the kinds of education and ecosystems that create the opportunity for all Nevadans there.
You know, I love that idea of the sustainable nature talk about the frontier. It's beautiful, protect it. We're stewards, but how do we make that sustainable as well?
Well, how do you use what you can to preserve what you must? And so we might build some solar fields in order to protect the rest of things. I'll tell you, I was just up in northern Nevada a few weeks ago. I think, Stillwater Wildlife Refuge. People don't realize when they drive around Nevada, it is not a full desert everywhere. There are these bodies of water, marshes, especially as you get up through central and northern Nevada, migrating birds, the amount of migrating birds that we saw, and this is not even in peak season when you go there in May. You go there in the spring or the fall, you see tons of birds, and they need those stopover points to make it from Canada down to wherever they're going. And Nevada's a critical, we're not just a tourist stop for people, we're that stop for the migrating birds and other kinds of animals.
Wildlife.
Wildlife, sure. And so how do we use what we can to preserve all the rest? That, I think, is the message.
I love that. I appreciate the thought process that you're taking there. So what American value do you believe is most important to preserve future generations? We have so many values.
Taking a sip, excuse me.
Please do.
It's hot here. It's a desert here, so if what American values? I think, first of all, I really think that the idea that we should have opportunity for everyone, that what you can imagine, if you have the right education and people behind you and I think about education, K through 12. I think about opportunities for training and jobs, and then in a wide variety of things. Again, how do we build for the future? We have to educate our kids for the problems that they're going to encounter, because they're going to become us, although nobody's teenager wants to hear that, right? And so I just think that the most American value that we can think of is our entrepreneurship, our imagination, our kindness. I will tell people that our First Amendment, really important, although sometimes it makes us argue. It's all good. Democracy is messy, and that's a good thing. It's like a big Thanksgiving table. Everybody brings a dish. Everybody's talking, and then you walk away and you've learned a lot and you've done a lot of different things because it's all melted together. So I think it's really important. And also, I really do believe the right to vote. Your vote is your voice. And I tell people to vote for folks who aren't stubborn. That means they'll come sit down at that big messy Thanksgiving table and say, okay, we got a problem. Here's 10 items we think we should do. Well, we agree on 5. Let's do the 5. And then we can argue more about the other 5. But if you're not stubborn, you'll sit in a room and you'll try to figure things out. And I think that's the most important thing that you can ask for the people who are elected, whether it's your mayor or president of the United States, all the way in between.
So that statesmanship and the civility side of it is so important to the democracy.
Yes.
And you don't have a democracy without that kind of dialogue, that statesmanship, the civility, that unity.
And I think that, we have to, instead of going into corners, if you're not stubborn, let's say there's issues here in Boulder City and you want to talk about it, you pull people together and say, okay, what are the issues? You name 20 issues and you agree on how to fix, we'll say half of them, 10.
Right.
Well, go ahead and start working on fixing those. And then you can continue to have discussions about the others that you may have bigger disagreements on or some direct disagreements. But what people get frustrated on is that if I don't agree with you on everything, I do nothing. And that doesn't work. It doesn't work if you're a part of family, friend, business owner, and it just doesn't work for people. And I just hope that people that are elected, and there are plenty there needs to be more, that aren't criticized for coming and sitting down and trying to figure things out the best we can. And that's how I think we get a good outcomes all the time.
I appreciate that. And I hope our youth understand that on their civic journey, that they really, because it is a journey for them to understand, do I want to be a part of that?
That's right.
When I walk the halls and get to come and visit you and see the staffers that are all, I don't know, they feel like they're
young.
babies.
They're young.
But they're helping run the country.
Right.
They are really the behind the scenes. It's so fabulous to see the youth that are engaged in the effort. And
can I say one more thing? We have a lot of interns. We have 3 sets. Every House member, every senator has internships, and usually we take people from our states, obviously, or districts if you're in Congress. And those, you have to be 18, but those young folks, they come and they work. We have 3, a spring, a summer, and a fall. We pay them, so you can go on our website and see
learn more
about
we'll put that in the show notes.
Yes, that's right, rosen.senate.gov. But it's interesting what they learned. They said they didn't realize all the phone calls that come in, all the ways that we help our veterans, people with Social Security, our seniors. They did not realize all the ways that we help people, all the things that people are worried about here in Nevada, the drought, whether we're getting the baseball, the football, the new basketball. I have nothing to do with whether the new basketball comes or not, but whether it's federal or state issues, just the kinds of calls and oftentimes the distress calls people get.
Right.
They just don't know where to turn, and they call us, and we're really able to, especially with those federal issues, veterans, seniors, immigration, tax, Social Security, we're able to help. And if we can't, my team knows everyone in Nevada. We will refer you to the right place to help you get that help.
We're grateful for those interns and the staff and the ability that we can reach out, that you have that communication is open, and those constituent services are so valuable.
It's the most important thing we do. People
really
do not
is.
realize, they think, oh, you're just there making laws. We are there making laws, but constituent services is our meat and potatoes of what we do, and not seen to the public, seen to the people that we help, but not something that sometimes people come on the news and they want to brag about their success story if something good happened, and they say, can we go talk about it? We've had help stuff with that, with people on Meals on Wheels or different veterans issues and that. But
those testimonials mean a lot to staff, so that they know that the work that they're doing is valuable.
That's right.
I appreciate that. This is kind of a little bit more of a personal note, but what is the book that you are reading right now, or special book to you?
Well, right now we've been doing a lot of homework. We've been very busy in Washington, working on a lot of big bills with 21st Century Road to Housing and the National Defense Authorization. So my reading has been all work, but one book that is a children's book that I have been talking and sharing with people a lot lately, because I think people have felt a little bit discouraged, and I want to give them hope. And this is a book called What Do You Do with a Chance? And it's a children's book. We'll give you the title. We'll give you the author and all that. You can include it. And I think it speaks again to the American spirit. What can you do? Let's say you're a teacher. We've all had that teacher who maybe saw something in us that we didn't see, asked us to do something, invited us in, or a person who gave us an opportunity, or just was nice to us. We went to the bank one day and that we're having a bad day, and the teller just was pleasant and changed your whole outlook. So what do you do with the chance? What do you do with how you present yourself? How do you reach out and just through kindness help others do good things? So it's a really great book. I actually think it's part of a series. It's a kid's book, but I think it's really meaningful.
I love that. I think more adults need to read some of those kids' book and relearn some of those lessons.
Sometimes it's the simple things.
Yeah, I love that. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
So our Chamber's mission is to strengthen our community and support opportunities for all. What gives you the greatest optimism about America's future, and what role do local communities like Boulder City play in keeping America's spirit strong?
Well, you know what, we've been going strong for 250 years. And like I said, democracy it's messy, it's noisy. It's like that giant Thanksgiving table where you invite everybody, family and friends, and then, oh no, there's a football game, but one uncle likes football team A and the other likes football team B, and you're like, no. But the point is, we're all together, and I think at the end of the day, we want to do what's good for our country, what's good for our future, and how do we do things that help us grow in positive ways, whether it's right here at the local level in Boulder City, all the ways that you're investing in your community, in tourism, in jobs, in small business, in your schools. That really makes a difference. So I do think that I would tell people, maybe don't watch so much news and talk to your neighbors, get off your phones, go out and take a hike, take a walk, go volunteer.
Love it.
Meet folks and give people a chance, because I think at the end of the day, I find people to be much kinder than you may ever see on a news station.
Well, I love your message. I love your heart. Thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it. And I cannot wait to see you in action again in September when we get to come up for the Las Vegas Chamber Fly-In. It is one of my favorite things to do all time in the year, is to be able to come to Washington, D.C.
And we flood. The fly-in is big. We just take over Washington. Nevada takes over the Capitol. That's what happens. happens on that fly-in week, and it is awesome.
Yep. We really appreciate your interest in small business in rural communities here in the state of Nevada, in tourism, outdoor recreation, all the things that you are leading us into a great future.
Do you know there's 280,000 small businesses in Nevada? 99.2% of businesses in Nevada, small business. Small business is 500 and under, but there's so many that are like that 50 and under, that really small business.
Yeah.
And so people do not realize almost over 280,000 small businesses in Nevada.
That's incredible.
Outdoor tourism, about $24 billion a year to our economy, thousands and thousands of jobs. We're a lot more diverse than I think we know it here in Nevada, but that people realize.
We do, truly in the rural areas especially. Yeah. Thank you for all your service. Thank you for all of the positive things and the role model that you are. We truly appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm happy to come back anytime.
This episode of the Best Damn Podcast has been a production of the Boulder City Chamber of Commerce. Please check out all the links and social media handles on our website as well at bouldercitychamber.com. You can find the Best Damn Podcast on all your favorite podcast directories. Like us and share on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, discover, explore, and unwind in Boulder City.